Nish and I were talking about this, and I was like, why would we sell right now? This is our ideal scenario. We love our team. We love what we do. We feel like we're making a change in people's lives. Like, I wake up delighted at the thought of working, and I like working. Like, I love working hard, and I love working hard on something I love to build.
Looking good today.
Oh, welcome back to Okay Sister Podcast. My name's Mads.
My name is Scout. Wellness check on Mads. That was she's got something in her eye. Maybe she's got a yawn.
No, there's something in my eye.
Oh, today,
Oh, God.
today Mady said her hair isn't on brand for her. So
It's just like, and I feel like curly hair girlies will really,
it's just a high maintenance situation.
it just is so unreliable.
I hate girls that are like, yeah, but my hair is the same every day and it's boring. And I'm like,
Or
I
like,
swear
I
to
have
you
no
that
volume.
I swear to you that you will prefer that if you tried to deal with the situation that is my hair. Right now, my hairstylist is out of commission. I don't know what the fuck to do.
What do you mean she's out of commission?
It's a long story. I'll tell you later. It's personal.
Drama with the hairstylist.
No drama. Wishing her well. Love her. It's just she cannot work at this time. So,
Very mysterious.
yeah. Well, listen, I'm not here to, but I don't know how to get my fucking hair done. So I'm doing this fucking up top knot, whatever the fuck bun, getting a headache every day.
Welcome back to the pod. My name is Mads.
We said that. My name is Scout, and we are actually really happy that you're here. We're actually happy to be here.
We're so happy to be here. We're so happy you're here, sister. You're
So fucking unconvincing.
wait, what?
Patty's like, she looks like she's in a Jane Austen novel, and she's like, I'm so happy you're here, like the breeze and the flowers.
I am giving Little Bo Peep.
You're just tired today.
I'm giving Little Bo Peep energy.
Did you take
And
your mushrooms?
I'm waiting for her sheep. Well, as we
Do you remember that Instagram story we posted? Probably 2019, like peak early Okay Sister moments. You came down Mom's staircase in that
God.
Amish dress, and
Okay.
I narrated it as if I was an English nobleman.
Okay, so listen. I was at like this fabulous Yom Kippur break the fast. Like a fabulous one, okay? Like I'm talking like it was in the Hollywood Hills. It was like fucking fabulous.
Yeah,
These were Mom's friends where I'm like, where were you hiding these friends or this whole time? So I am there, and this fabulous woman.
Who's probably 5'10".
No, she
was
was
short?
She was very short. She was very short, very petite. She was like maybe 50 years old, slick back bun before slick back bun was a thing. And she had this Zara dress on. It's like high neck, poofy sleeves, like whatever, billowed. I don't know how to even explain it, but it was like this tan. She had like neon shoes. Like she was just chic, okay? Chic with a capital C. And I looked at her and I was like, I can fucking rock that.
No, you can't. Spoiler alert.
Damn it.
She went
So
to
then
buy it.
I go to buy it at Zara.
You
and
looked like you walked out of the shtetl.
I
It was
looked
a
like
mixture.
I was on.
It was a mixture of the shtetl and Little Bo Peep.
Listen, I was on the set of Fiddler on the Roof. Okay, like it was so bad. I couldn't believe that a dress could look so different on two different people. Like, how is this possible? Like, I'm not even that much like bigger or taller than this woman. Like, it was so bad. I disposed of it right after I wore
She
it.
put it on and she's like, will you take a picture of me? So she gets her coffee mug. Her tea
Oh yeah,
mug.
maybe I'll see if I can find
And
these photos.
She cuddles up into one of my mom's big chairs and she holds the empty tea mug. And she's given the most like prairie Little House on the Prairie
I
vibes.
need to find this photo. The craziest
have it on my
part
phone
was
for
that
sure.
that was the day we interviewed Sivan Ayla, and like, what a terrible day for me to look terrible. You know what I mean? Like,
Honestly, I didn't look that great when we interviewed Sivan Ayla either. Like
that was my impression.
honestly,
to
I look back at photos of myself between like 2016 to 2019, and the question is what and why.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know how to do my hair. I didn't know how to do my makeup.
You still don't.
Okay, hair maybe. Wait, I don't look good right now?
No, you look good now, but when you do your winged eyeliner, like we really do need to work on it.
What's wrong with it?
Me and Mom were talking shit, and we were saying that you need.
You and Mom were talking shit about me? And you guys said I need to wait, what?
We were just like, the wing eyeliner, like we just don't understand why why you're doing it. And it's like, it just doesn't look like it's filled in.
Wait, on top? Because I know I struggle with the sides, but
I don't know. Just all of it is not great.
wait, I need to show you a photo of myself where I look really great and everybody says I look great.
Well, the last time you wore the wing eyeliner, it just didn't really look good. So
Okay, wow.
we just
Thanks
need to
for
practice
telling
some
me.
more. I just don't know why you need a winged eyeliner. Just do a normal eyeliner.
Look, I look good here.
I can't see that far.
Here, I'm going to throw you the phone.
Wow. Okay, that
I look
Yeah.
phenomenal there. That's the whole
I think you need to study Miss Taylor Allison Swift. She does an excellent cat eye.
Okay, first of all, she doesn't do it.
That is true.
So,
Oh God,
fuck,
here we go.
really Courtney, is my mic still on?
Yeah, I think so.
Maddie threw my phone.
I think you're fine.
Okay,
Okay.
moving on.
And
I was
moving
going to
on,
say something else.
Let's get into this episode.
I was going to say something else before that, but we had
Is
now.
her mic on? I threw the phone at her.
Do we have an insurance policy as a creator? Courtney's just going to check real quick. We're
Okay,
good.
we're
Okay,
good.
cool. Well, happy you and Mom were talking shit. Love to hear it.
Well, at least I'm honest about it.
Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say. I want to read a wonderful comment that we got on TikTok
Oh,
that I just...
Guys, we're popping off on TikTok. If you don't follow us on TikTok, it is so fun over there.
It's so fun because everyone gives us shit. It's hilarious. This girl wrote, okay, at first I'm like, wow, that girl is rude. Then realized they are sisters and this is how sisters act.
Like
and
that is truly the essence of OK Sister podcast.
It really is.
We need that tattooed on our butts.
I texted it to you like, you need to make a meme of this, and you literally didn't respond. So
I don't
like,
understand what you mean by you need to make a meme of this. That doesn't make any sense. Like, what are you talking about?
I thought it'd be a fun piece of content.
Yeah, but that's not a meme.
Like, how would you describe your podcast?
Okay.
Okay, let's get into this
Absolutely
episode.
not.
We're unhinged.
We're unhinged.
We're so excited because we have Siffat Haider. She is the co-founder of Arrae. You guys all know it. You take the bloat capsules, and if you don't know what Arrae is, I
You're
don't know how
probably
to
not
help
on the
you.
internet,
I don't know how to
which-
help you.
yeah.
Well, we do know how to help you. Listen to this episode.
Yeah.
She's also the host of the Dream Bigger podcast.
I'm sorry. Something is in my eye. Sif has been on our list to interview,
Yeah.
I think, since 2020.
For
Like
sure.
she has been a dream guest. We were totally fangirling. She's built such an out of control amazing company and brand and community.
Mhm.
There's so much to learn from her. And she really, I mean, we kind of go all over the place. Like, not only we talked so much about the products itself, because
Yeah.
as you guys know, I'm a bloated queen, and a lot of what my brand pillar is being bloated, and so that is literally what Arrae is meant for. So I asked a lot of technical questions about the different products and when to use them. So there's all that information in there. But then we also talk about being a founder and entrepreneurship life, and what season of the life she's in, like how to travel. Like there's just
How she views her personal brand.
so much, so much.
Her team. I loved it when she talked about her team. I feel like we really
Yes.
hit all the important points, except I told her she has to come back for part 2 to talk about what it's like to do business with her husband. We didn't touch
Yeah.
on that, but it was awesome to hear her.
It was awesome. And we're doing a giveaway.
Yep.
So sisters, we're going to be giving away 3 bloat jars.
Yep.
If you
Do you want me to say what the criteria is? She has no idea.
No, I know what it is.
Okay, go.
We're giving away 3 bloat jars to 3 sisters, 3 lucky sisters. All you have to do to enter into this giveaway, follow OK Sister Pod
On Instagram.
follow Arrae on Instagram, and follow Sif on Instagram. And then comment on one of our latest IG reels about your favorite part of the episode.
Yep.
And then we will sift through the comments. We'll check if you follow everyone.
We'll DM
And
you.
we'll DM you and
we'll
get
DM 3
you-
people, and you will get a lovely bloat package to your door.
Yes.
And if you need to find out all those Instagram handles, they are all in the show notes. So just check it out. Follow everyone. Let us know your favorite part of this episode on one of our IG reels around this episode, and we'll pick 3 lucky sisters. And we're really excited about that. You guys are going to die when you try bloat. And with that, let's welcome Siffat Haider to OK Sister Podcast.
Yay. We're rolling. Welcome, Sif, to OK Sister Podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Sif, we are fangirling.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I listen
please.
to, okay, I don't really listen to many people's podcasts. Like
Oh,
my friends who have
the Dream
podcasts, like
Bigger.
I actually don't listen. I listen pretty religiously to your
I'm
podcast.
honored.
It's
you guys
excellent.
You're making my day over here.
Well, the,
It's
thing,
excellent.
the thing about Dream Bigger is that, and listen, there's a lot of podcasts
Yeah,
of like
as we know.
female entrepreneurs talking to other entrepreneurs, and there's just something that feels really tangible about your podcast. It feels like you get to the meat of things. It's not just like a typical like, tell me about how you got started. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. And like, I think, when I do my interviews, I'm like, what would I as a listener want to listen to? And it's
Totally.
not necessarily your whole life story. I want to like get to like why you bring me value. Like as a listener, like think about how you interact with podcasts. Like it's not because you want someone's life story, unless their life story has like some incredible lesson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't need to know how like you got into X, Y, or Z. Like
Yeah.
tell me instead like something that someone could apply based on what you said. You know what I
like
mean? So-
challenges or little
Yeah.
like niche things that you do
Totally.
that have.
Oh my God, I just remembered, because you forget everything after you have a kid. In the early stages of postpartum for me, as someone who is really, before I had kids, I was like, how am I going to work and have a kid, right? I remember breastfeeding, and I made a conscious decision to not listen to content or be on my phone while breastfeeding. I just really wanted that to be like my present alone time. But I feel like there was a week where I just kind of needed like some mental stimulation
Yeah.
during the day, and I binged the Dream Bigger podcast. And I think that's how I started listening to it, because I was like, oh, takeaways. My brain started getting activated. So I
Yeah.
would say and breastfeed, and I like binged it for like a whole week one time. I
Oh, that
remember
makes
that
me
moment.
really happy. Thank you
Yeah.
guys.
You were
That means a
like-
lot.
You're like in her postpartum.
Listen, I don't know if you want to be there, but
I know I am happy to be there. Listen, if I can help, I'm there for you.
Okay, so obviously everybody knows Arrae. Come on, everyone knows Arrae.
Come on, everyone knows
Yeah, everyone. It's been a wild ride. I've been tracking your success and your growth and all of the things. And what year are you on?
4.
Year 4. It's really, really young. It feels like it's still in its infancy. And yet you guys have just like, boom, right? Like full rocket ship. How are you doing? What season of life are you in? How is it all? What's the energy like around this for you today?
So, they're like, it's interesting. Like being an entrepreneur, there's so many different feelings all at once.
Yeah.
So right now I'm coming off of a launch that we just did on maybe 4 days ago or 5 days ago. So that launch, it was for MB1. It's our newest product for metabolism, and it crushed. And so obviously coming off of a very successful launch that we have been working on, not just a product formulation for a year and a half. I've been the personal guinea pig, as have a lot of customers and focus groups. But beyond that as well, every other part that goes into a launch, from web to email flows to marketing, all of those things coming together and seeing it come to life, it's been a very surreal and gratifying feeling. So right now I'm kind of a mix of emotions where I'm so excited, so proud of us, so happy, but at the same time kind of in disbelief and in shock. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of mixed emotions. We're also going away this Thursday for a 9-day trip, which I'm really, really looking
Where are you
forward to.
going?
So, Italy.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
Fabulous.
really excited. So, a lot of different emotions at all times. But in terms of the season I'm at, I feel working hard, more motivated than ever. We're lucky to work with the team that we work with. And I don't know, I think everyone's just on a high right now and just really excited to continue to grow the company.
Yeah.
There's something about Arrae where when you guys started, you guys were the pioneers of the bloated, remedies, or I don't know, you guys were the first one to really talk about bloating in this certain way.
Totally.
And we kind of seen there's a lot that have sprouted since then.
Yes.
And Arrae continues to be the leading force behind this, and you guys are continuously innovating.
Yeah.
How do you think about that in terms of like introducing new products, or just like how do you talk when there's so much clutter about bloating now?
So I think number one is that you kind of can't like pay attention to what's going on around you. I think our goal has always been to be the best. And so we know that we have a unique voice. We keep kind of iterating and trailblazing, so we're always ahead. And that's kind of what we aspire to be. We aspire to be, you know, excellent, like truly excellent when it comes to product innovation, brand ideas, like making sure that we're always unique. And also at the end of the day, I think that when a category starts to become really hot, I would say it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it
There's
means
demand.
that there's more customers and just there's more awareness of a category as a category starts to grow. That means that more people are coming, they're more interested in like bloating or digestive health as a category, which means that there's more of customer share for everyone. Also, I think that honestly speaking, there's room for everyone. And while I don't condone brands copying us, I still think that, you know, like if you're doing your own thing and you have your own brand voice and your own kind of product, I don't care if you're in the bloating category, just do your own thing. Like, and you know, I can't say that like one brand is like everything for everyone. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully like our product can help you, but if you resonate more with the message of another brand, go there, you know, like we know who we are. You know, as a founder, I'm really proud of what we've built, and we'll just continue to build and be trailblazers.
Yeah. And how would you define Arrae today?
How would I define Arrae? Like, what do you mean in terms of like,
I guess
what we do?
What you do, the mission, what you're trying to build, kind of like
Because
how would you summarize it?
But before you do that, because it's so interesting, because when, you know, I look at your lineup, right?
Yeah.
And any other supplement company does like the multivitamin and then this, you know, like all your generic basics. And then you got your like vitamin C or whatever, right? Like whatever. You guys are so freaking specific.
Yes.
So
Okay.
specific. I'm like, oh my God, okay, I got sleep, I have calm, I have heartburn, I have bloat, I have, you know, and I'm like, what? Constipation. And it tells a story, right?
Yeah.
That's different than other supplement brands. And yet the intention to do that, I don't think other brands have done. Most people just launch their own version of a supplement because they want the efficacy to be better. They want this or they want that. But in terms of explaining Arrae today, how do you explain it? Because in context of that story that you're telling.
So we do 100% natural targeted supplements specifically in the gut health category. Now, when you think of like things like sleep and calm, they're supporting products within kind of digestion, because when you think about sleep, for example, if we're not getting good sleep, then our ghrelin and leptin hormones are off, which means that we're reaching for snacks. We're not making decisions that are within like our right mind, because we're so tired and so sleep deprived that we like our hormones are off, right? So like that's really important. Like it's an important cornerstone of digestion. I don't think digestion can be talked about until sleep is looked into. Similarly with calm and like now we have magnesium as well. Fact of the matter is that our mental health and digestion are intrinsically linked, whereby if we're anxious, we go into fight or flight mode, and that makes digestion incredibly hard. So when we launched the company, we actually launched it with bloat and calm because we wanted to educate people on the importance of kind of looking after both. But you're right in terms of what you've said about the intentionality, and I'm so happy that that comes through to consumers and kind of people watching the brand as well, because we don't just want to do things because it's like trendy. We really wanted to build credibility as a brand for digestive health and, you know, release less and like slowly, but better, and something that actually told a whole story so that people would know to come to us for like those specific issues.
I have a weird CPG question that
What's up?
maybe
Hit me.
maybe you can answer, maybe you can't. So a lot of obviously small businesses such as yourself, which is not such a small business anymore, have showed up in the landscape, right? You know, whether it's Arrae, whether it's, you know, I don't know, a candle line or a hair care line or a skincare line, etc. I always think of this, and maybe you can say, maybe you don't have any insight into this, of like, so let's just take makeup, right? Big makeup companies can pump shit out and they continue to do it, right? For years and years and years and years and years and years. But with the smaller intentional product-based businesses, I'm asking, like, how do you, like, what's the biggest game plan, if does that make sense? Like, for ones that are smaller, more intentional, et cetera, who can't pump products out, how do you create a business that has longevity where you still have new launches 10, 15, 20 years down the line? Or is the goal with these types of brands to sell to a larger business that can then support that level of growth and that level of launches? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it completely makes sense.
I always think about it and I never know the answer.
So I have a lot of thoughts on this
Okay.
because it's something that we talk about often. So I think with launch schedules, it's actually very easy to feel like you need to launch a product in order to get top up revenue, right?
Okay, yeah.
But I think that's actually the wrong way to go about looking into it, because instead what you should be focusing on is fixing the foundation of the business. So thinking, okay, like, how can we get our existing customers to continue to come back for the products that we have? Like, how can we have good retention on a specific product? Like, what are we missing here? Is subscription an issue? And then also, how do we capture new people, but for the same product? So what I mean is, I think bloat can be in the hands of every single person. Is it in the hands of every single person? It's not, which means that there's a ton that can grow. Now, it can be easy for me to release a new product and get a top up of like revenue because it's like new and exciting. But I think a good foundation is built on like, you know, strong individual products. So that's kind of been our philosophy always, where we've launched slower, but we've kind of focused on saturation of a market with a given product, basically. So I think, like, instead of being like, oh, I'll just launch a new product, actually ask yourself, if your revenue isn't going up, like, where are things broken with your existing products? You know, I think that's the right way to look at it. And I think also, if you are thinking of selling to a strategic down the line, or maybe it's an IPO, these are actually things that you're going to have to look into. Like, no one's going to come and want to put money into your business and, like, you know, not ask you why your retention numbers are low. Like, like, we've spoken to so many large investors, large strategics, and that's a conversation that we have really regularly, whereby we know that that's like the sign of a good, healthy business is like, what are your retention metrics? So if, you know, brands feel like, especially younger brands, like, if you've not really thought about it and you're like, oh, like, I'll just have an insane launch schedule. Number one, it doesn't allow you to really build credibility for anything, because, okay, say I'm a supplement brand and then I release skincare and then I release a shampoo and then I have perfume and then, you know, like body care. Okay, if you want to do that, there's like a long trajectory of doing it. Maybe you do it over 20 years, but doing that in 4 years, what are you known for then? You know? And so that's my thought process there.
What you just said, I want to like extract something that's so fucking good. Where can you find new customers with your existing product and inventory versus needing to go through a whole new launch and do a whole new thing to continue to bring in dollars is an excellent, excellent thing people should be thinking about. And then you said subscription. Talk to me about the subscription model. How lucrative is it? And are people sleeping on this business model?
Well, I think it highly depends on the kind of product that you sell. Like, I don't think subscription is for everyone. Like, for example, if your business is leggings, like, unless you're doing a different color legging, you know what I mean? Like, how many pairs does someone need? But if your business is one that is right for subscription, whereby you notice consumer trends. So for us, when we launched Arrae, we actually didn't think we were going to be a subscription business. Okay. So this was not done strategically on our side. It was just that we noticed our retention was so damn high for our products that we were like, okay, we need to introduce subscription because people are asking for subscription. And so then that's kind of how we got into it. But subscription is, of course, like the easiest way to have high retention, because you're rewarding existing customers who keep coming back with a discount and kind of continuing to incentivize them to keep ordering. Beyond that as well, you can build out a pretty robust loyalty program that like really helps build community and all of that too.
Tell me about community, because I think it's a buzzword and it's definitely something that companies are even trying to like retroactively build. How do you view it? What does it mean to you? The Arrae community does feel super strong. I think people, again, really resonate with your brand. But what are some touch points? What are some things you think about when building community?
So I think when I look at brands and their marketing, one of the mistakes I think they make is putting too much emphasis on influencers and VIPs and not enough on their customers.
Yep.
So for us, like really a hallmark of like who we are as a brand, and right from day one we've always said treat your customers like influencers. And so I think the community aspect really starts from there. So in terms of touch points, there's so many different ways in which you can build community. So that is like, I think our customers know that they really do have direct access to Nish and I if they need it. Like that means that they can DM us if they're sending us a personal email, like even to like our general email address, like it will come to us. Like our team will like either flag it, like if they're like wanting to speak to us directly. In the early days, all customer service calls would go to Nish's phone. And I'm not recommending that everyone should do this because everyone is in different points of their lives. Like we started our business when we had like nothing else. Like this was all we were doing. We were in our late 20s. Like I understand people are like parents, like everyone's different, right? But we were just really all in. And so we started to build community because I think our consumers knew that like they could rely on us as founders to like show up for them. So then beyond that, it then became how personable we are on social media. So like not just Nish and I, it's like the brand, right? Like they just feel like, I feel like Arrae feels like a friend to someone, not like a company, you know?
I agree with that, yeah.
And that's how we try to show up on social. Like we try to run our social so it feels like it's attached to like a person versus like this company. So I feel like that's one way to do it. Events and IRL experiences, I think, is really important. So as an example, when we launched our magnesium product, we had a backyard movie night for our customers. So it was at my house, literally. So
I love it.
yeah, and like it was such a good way for us to get to know our customers. And like early on as well, like I would say like year 2 of our business, what we used to do is we would host like 20 of our top customers in any given city and have like a big dinner for them. So in New York, we like rented out a back room at L'Artusi and like had all our customers come to us. We've done that in LA, we've done that in Toronto, we've done that in New York. And so all the time, like we've kind of dedicated the thought process behind like good marketing and like budget behind consumer efforts, you know, like, and really making them feel like they are a part of the brand. And also when it comes to things like product formulation, new products, like feedback for products that are coming up, we've always relied on our community for that. And I think like that's the way to build community is like they need to feel like they are a part of your brand, which they are.
Yeah.
They should be. If you want to build a strong brand is like listen to who's buying your product and like reward them. And so
I know it's so admirable what you guys have done. And that's we've talked about this on the podcast as well. Like I run a Los Angeles-based platform that shares like cool things to do, places to be.
My team loves it.
Oh, really? And all of our events are public facing. And yes, we've done like influencer things, private, you know, invite only things, but I see so much more return when there is a public facing event and we're meeting people that are fans of the brand that understand. And so I don't know, it's been interesting. Like brands will come to us to work with us and they're like, wait, we want to do like the public facing. We want it to be the open because they know how to do influencer events. They know how to do activations that way and everything. But it's so interesting that they don't have as much experience opening it up to their actual customers. And I'm like, that is kind of backwards.
Yeah.
But I get it. Of course, influencers have influence. They are able to distribute widely, but when you make someone feel so special and that they are a part of it, that like trickle effect and that word of mouth, just like.
Also, I think I think now everyone's I think everyone has always been an influencer because when you look at your own consumer habits, you realize that like, okay, if Scout recommends something to you, right, you're probably going to go buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like friend recommendations are everything.
That's why podcasts work so much.
Yeah,
totally.
Because you feel like Mady literally told me one time, she's like, I listened to this guy talk on an Let's podcast.
Yeah.
And he said that he has so much energy and he listed every like supplement he takes. And
I
Mady
literally just
bought
everyone.
every fucking
It was the
single
dumbest
one.
thing, but I bought it. I was just like, how have I listened to so many ads and so much bullshit?
But when
and this
someone
one guy
personally
who
recommends-
he had amazing energy. I was like, fucking purchase. Like, it's so dumb. But it's true.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, I think there's been a democratization of the word influencer. So if you look at TikTok, anyone can go viral.
Yeah.
So someone who wasn't an influencer yesterday is now an influencer today. And so why not just treat everyone like an influencer to begin with? Because to some degree, everyone has influence. And so if I treat you as my customer like you are the most important thing to me, which you are, you'll go tell your friends and you'll tell them authentically and they will buy the product. So it just does its job. So I feel like dedicating, like as a brand, I recommend like it should be an even split of budget to your customers and your influencers. That's how it should be split.
Yeah, I feel like once influencers came onto the scene, people forgot about word of mouth and just focused on influencers, like press influencers, forgot what word of mouth is. And now you guys, with Instagram saying that everyone's basically an influencer, you have access to put, fuel to the fire on word of mouth now by doing stuff like that versus just waiting for the word of mouth to happen. I need to know how you got into the Dior Spa in Paris. Because when I see you go there, I sit there and I go, fuck yeah, girl. And I say, I need to know how it happened.
So,
is your mind blown?
My mind was extremely blown because it wasn't some planned thing. So one day I get an email into like our retail thing, like a retail email, and it's from Dior, and I think it's spam.
Literally. If I got an email from Dior, I'd be like,
I would
this
think
is
it's
definitely
spam.
spam. I like ignore it. And then a couple of days later, I get another email, and this time the Dorchester has been CC'd, and I'm like,
Wait, the what?
The Dorchester. So that's like Plaza Athénée is part of Dorchester Hotel Group. It's like it's like a very like elite hotel group. So I was like, wait, this is real because
and I did not respond 3 days
I was like, because the Dior Spa is part of like the Dorchester.
Okay,
like the Dior Spa is in the Plaza Athénée, and the Plaza Athénée is part of Dorchester Group.
Got it.
So
I was like that. I'm sorry, real quick. I love that you knew that before you got into the Dior Spa.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also obsessed with good hotels. Like I think in another life I was a luxury travel agent or something because I'm like truly obsessed. So I remember it was like on a Wednesday, which is like when our team works in person, and I freaked out. I was sitting in our back house and the rest of the team was in the backyard, and I like run outside and I'm like screaming, and no one knows what I'm talking about. Like no one knows.
You didn't sound like you were speaking English.
I'm like, you guys, the Plaza Athénée, and they're like, huh? And finally, like two people on my team like knew what the Plaza Athénée was, and everyone was like, whoever understood was excited. But either way, everyone was excited about Dior specifically. And then we got into the spa, and then like they've just been excellent partners. So if anyone is in Paris and is wanting to pick up bloat or I believe heartburn, gut boost, they're all in there too. If you want to pick any of our products up, you can go to the Dior Spa at Plaza Athénée. You can get it there, and then if you get a service like a massage, then you can get a bloat latte afterwards as well.
Oh my god,
really
bloat
cool.
latte! Why is that available here?
Cute. It was, but we just decided to discontinue it. But I know it was like people who loved it really loved it.
Fuck, I need that. Okay, so everyone on OK Sister knows like I'm a bloated queen. Okay, like just the bloating is part of my life. And I just want to shout out. I mean, obviously, bloat is amazing. The constipation.
It's
so
good, huh?
It's not just for constipation. Like I have trouble going to the bathroom in the morning. Is it okay if I'm taking this every night?
Yes, absolutely. So
I like that you say it's not just for constipation, but you can never poop, so it's always for constipation.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. And I also just listened to a podcast with a GI, and she was like, there are people that like just because you've pooped in the morning doesn't mean you've pooped completely.
Yeah, totally.
So there's like levels of constipation. I am for sure that like where it's like not complete.
Yeah.
This shit is unreal.
And
seriously,
so glad you like it.
Seriously.
Yeah. We're really proud of it. And yes, like it's very safe to take on a daily basis. Cool. It's also free of any harsh laxatives. So it doesn't cause dependency. And, like when we were formulating a product for constipation specifically, we really wanted to be intentional about that because we didn't want there to be any room for abuse. Because when I was in college, I remember there were like girls who would abuse laxatives to lose weight.
I did Smooth Move tea. Well, this was actually for constipation, but like, and then I got dependent on it. And it was like no, it's like diarrhea. Like it wasn't
No,
good.
I know it's really bad.
No.
And like people, like I have friends obviously who are like in the medical space, and they've told me horror stories about like
Yeah.
young girls needing to get bowel removal surgery because their bowels are no longer functional because of their dependence. It's like, it's really
Yeah.
fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of colon cancer happening in men in their 30s. I don't know if that's similarly related, but I feel like
I have no idea,
potentially
but yeah,
too.
it's like
Yeah.
messed up. So anyway, like we were really intentional about the
Yeah.
formulation. So you take it at night, you are able to go comfortably in the morning. And, you know, if you take it every single day as well, then overarchingly your kind of like, you know, bowel movements will be smoother over time as
Okay,
well.
cool.
So
That's really good.
And
to
then
know.
wait, we need to talk also about this one. This is
Gut boost.
the gut boost. Will there be a pill form?
So I know. People ask that.
Look, I thought I vied with the taste. Scout, it was a little harder for her.
I can't.
know.
I'm sorry.
So it's fine.
I
It's a-
can't even drink hard alcohol. Like I like
Yeah.
It
I like
tasted like a Gia almost.
Yeah,
you know what I
it's-
mean?
Yes. So it's a bitter.
Yes.
So
Yes.
and bitter herbs essentially, the reason it can't be in a pill form is because it's the bitter taste that actually gets your digestive enzymes and your salivary glands going. So if you have gut issues and you go to functional medicine practitioners, one of the first things that they'll ask you is like take digestive bitters. And so
Interesting. Okay.
the reason is because it's almost like, think about it like primer for makeup, right? So
Okay.
it primes your digestive system to receive food. So if we think about it like anthropologically, before we had computers and the kind of lives that we do, you know, we would smell food and then our digestive system would be ready to receive the food. Now, you know, we are sitting on our laptop, food arrives in front of us, we shovel it down, and then, you know, that's basically our interaction with food. So with a bitter is essentially what it does is it allows our digestive system to get ready to receive the food. It also allows for better nutrient breakdown, so you're like absorbing everything better. It helps with satiety and just like better hunger cues as well, because your body is like getting ready to properly receive the food
Yeah.
before, you know,
Oh,
you
no, it's
actually
been-
have
is
it.
it?
It's
Can I
been
just
really
take
helpful.
less of it? Is
Yeah.
it? How much are you supposed to take?
So we say 1 pipette into a glass of water, but listen, Scout,
Wait,
like
one.
Oh, I've been doing 3.
I did 3.
whole pipettes?
I did 3 pipettes and I almost threw up.
No, do
No,
one
I didn't almost
pipette.
throw up. I just did. I was like, "What is that?" I didn't know what I
it's
was
very
drinking.
bitter.
Wait.
Wait,
I
wait.
did like.
I
hold
did
on.
3.
Hold on.
Like, I did 3
that.
of that.
3 of this.
I think you can just do one of those.
Oh, thank
I
God.
mean, 3. Like, go off, girl.
No,
Like, it's
I
not gonna
can't
do
go
anything
off.
bad.
Great.
I can't go off.
I feel great. I can't.
I'm too much of a lightweight.
Alcohol. Crazy.
I'll do one. And I could do one. I think the 3 was.
But
Oh my God, the
honestly,
3 was
listen, I
great.
do want to say that, like, if one of the products isn't for you,
Yeah.
it's not for you.
Right,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like it's okay. Like, don't take it if you don't like it. You know, like
I like
take
taking the bloat.
bloats.
I take the bloat at night every
Take
night.
bloat.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if that helps you, like, you know what I mean. Like I think that there's just like, people feel really overwhelmed sometimes because there's so many things that we can be doing. And
Yeah,
so
totally.
even as a founder, like, I'm never going to say take all our products. I'm going to say pick and choose what you like.
Right.
Some you'll like more than others. And if you don't like something, don't fucking take it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
I love that. I love that like transparency and just like being like, it's okay.
I have a question. I have a question. We're on a podcast. That's the point. Do you see your success or no? Do you have
I-
trouble seeing it?
So, no. Like, okay, so yes and no. So,
Yeah.
no, because I know how far we've come. And like, I'm someone who is like very aware of where we were, you know, 6 months ago, a year ago. Like, as a founder, like, it's just who I am. And I'm like, I practice gratitude like in a big way, in the sense that like I just know how far we've come. And so I'm really grateful for that. But at the same time, I also know that the distance that we want to go is like still like the potential is so large that it's kind of like a balance. Like, I'm grateful that we've gotten here, but my aspirations are not even close to being like scratched, you know, like I know that there's so much more we can do. So yes, I'm like very happy about where we're at and like grateful, but I'm not satisfied.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's more I want to do.
How many team members do you have?
We have 17, I think.
17. And they all come and work in your back.
We
office?
have 12 of us who work in person, and the rest of the 5 are remote.
And they come to your house?
Wow.
Talk to us about that decision to bring them to your house versus like getting an office space.
So I think because of where Nish and I are at, so Nish is my husband and he's my co-founder. And so I think already like for the most part on weekdays, like we are working, you know, and either we're working together or separate, it doesn't matter. And I think that work is just a part of our lives. And so when we started the company, we started it out of our apartment and then it graduated to, you know, like wherever we were living. And so when we were getting a house in LA, it just made sense to get something that had space to have our team work out of there too, because it was just kind of a part of our identity. Again, we're able to do this. Like we are, I would say, unusual in the sense of how all in we are, because we're married. We work on this together. We have from the very beginning. So I feel like we're extremely all in. Again, I don't think that this is for everyone, but this is just how we are. Would I say differently if we had kids? Probably, or maybe not. I don't fucking know, you know? But like, I just think that Nish and I love doing this so much that it's okay that it comes into our home. And also from a practicality standpoint, like I would much rather it be my home than like having to drive somewhere and like lose time on like the commute. Like I'm doing this all day anyway. Of course, like I have, you know, like my bedroom is my bedroom. I don't take my work in there, but any other room, like it's fine. You know what I mean? So and like also we are really good with our team. So if there is, you know, a day where we don't want anyone to come in, we just say it. Like it's no hard feelings. Like, you know, they're all chill and like everyone's as all in as we are and they all understand. So, you know.
I love all in.
I love
all in. I really do.
Especially as an employee.
Well,
to
but it's also just something I truly personally think is a worthy thing to aspire to is when you find that thing that really lights you up, that really lights your husband up. I think it's beautiful that you guys work on it together. Again, it's not for everybody. Not everyone can do that. But and also being all in is also not for everyone from a lifestyle perspective. Correct. But for me personally, when I meet someone who's all in on something to that level, like I feel happy for them. Like I feel happy for you, because how often does someone find something in their life that they're so all in on, other than obviously their children, right? When you have children, like you're all fucking in. But it's such a beautiful thing that a lot of people don't find. A lot of people don't find something that they're willing to bring into their home. A lot of people don't find something that they're willing to say, blend it all together because it's beautiful and this is our focus. And so when I look at you and I look at you and Nish together and I look at the way you do that, like for me, what goes through my mind is, are they all using your bathroom, right? Like that freaks me out. But the premise of it and the energy behind it is like, that's fucking beautiful. Yeah. It's beautiful. Like most people also get an office for 12 people because that's what you do or you should do. And if that, you know, if that works for you, that works for you. But just taking a moment to appreciate like how rare and beautiful it is when you find something that you're all in on. And it's just an awesome, awesome thing.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. And sorry, I just have one comment.
Go.
And that comment is that, number one, there is a guest bathroom. So
okay, I was going to say about the bathroom.
Yeah, so we have more than enough bathrooms for everyone. And we have our master bathroom, which no one enters. Yeah. But I think like for Nish and I, we're like very purpose driven and we feel like we have purpose doing this. We love doing this. Like we talk about this all the time. Like what would we do if we didn't have Arrae? We'd start another business. We love doing this, you know? And like just last night, Nish and I were talking about this and I was like, why would we sell right now? This is our ideal scenario. We love our team. We love what we do. We feel like we're making a change in people's lives. Like I wake up delighted at the thought of working and I like working. Like I love working hard and I love working hard on something I love to build. So, I mean, this is like this, it works for us, you know? And so, and if you're someone who needs to get an office, absolutely go do that, you know? Like it's just, people are different. And this is just, I guess, like the stage of life that we're at, you know?
Yeah.
So I was going to say, how do you think about maintaining that essence as you scale and as you grow? Just because it doesn't feel like, it feels like a family business, honestly, you know?
And how do you balance that with investors? Because, you know, that's hard too.
So I would like to keep this for as long as I am here. You know, like, and I don't see any reason why we can't do that. I think a lot of cultural things, it bleeds from the top down. And people who, and I say this respectfully, but I do believe it's true. I speak to founders and they will be complaining in and out about their team and their culture. And I'm like, girl, the call's coming from inside the house. You know, like
Amen. Say that louder.
It bleeds from the top, you know? And so Nish and I are in the trenches with our team, and that's why it feels like a family business, because I think everyone sees how all in we are. We hire slow. We're protective of who we bring onto our team. And I think like people who we bring on are reflections of us. Like they share that ideology. They are just as passionate about Arrae as we are. And if they're not, then they're out. And I don't mean that in like a rude or a bitchy way. It's compassionate leadership. Like, why would I let you continue on my team when I know you don't want to be here? Like, go find something that lights you up. Everyone deserves that. So that's number one. In terms of balancing it with investors, I think that you have to be extremely selective about who you take money from, you know, like taking investment. It's essentially getting into a long-term relationship with someone. Vet your investors, have like long conversations where you're able to get to know someone well before you need money. And I think like we were lucky with our investors in the sense that we vetted them. They're good people. And Nish and I own the bulk majority of our business. So we operate it like we want, and they trust us and we trust them. So I think there is a way to have a good relationship with your investors. We certainly have had that experience. And, you know, I think that investors also know if your business is growing at a good rate and, you know, they see that it's healthy, then they have trust in the founders, you know? And so why would they fight you?
Yeah.
Like what like if the business then goes downhill, it's their money that's on the line. Like, you know what I mean? Like everyone's losing. So investors want you to win.
Yeah. Question about the investors, and you can answer generally or you can answer specifically to your business. When investors invest in a business like yours, is there a possibility for the deals to be structured where they either get like profitability shares every year, like a rev share or, you know, profit share, or is it when a company sells? Because that's where I feel like in my mind, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, I don't do investment business stuff. That's where I can see like an investor being like, no, I want you to sell when it's hot, but the founder doesn't want to sell because that's when they get their return back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, there sometimes is misalignment in terms of like when an investor wants you to sell versus not. And typically, like it is always when a business sells that an investor gets their money back, because it's like typically like if you're coming in early, it's like we're like mid-range, like 3 to 5x return on your capital is like what the typical you know, expectation is. So, you know, if a business is really hot and it's like, you know, lucrative for an investor that you sell, then of course, like they may push for that. But I think that there needs to be alignment in terms of like when you want to sell. There's also an opportunity, for example, if our business is like, I'm just going to like, this is an example hypothetical. Okay. So say our business is growing really fast and our investors think that it's time for us to sell. First, like it's not, no one can make you do that unless they have majority. So like you have to be on board as well. But you can also see if you can bring in another larger investor who is aligned with your growth goals, who can then buy out your existing investors. So that is also a possibility. So, you know, there's ways to negotiate and kind of figure those things out.
Yeah. I want to talk about your newest product because I loved the tagline. Wasn't it like faux Zempic?
Yeah, you're all natural faux Zempic. We wanted to be really cheeky about it.
But it hooked me. Like I was like, wait, I need to try it. So talk to us. What is the difference and what does it do?
Okay, so MB1 is a product for metabolism. So MB stands for metabolic burn.
Okay.
And essentially our metabolism is responsible for a lot of things, from like our energy levels to blood glucose levels, like, you know, cholesterol. There's so many different factors. And so MB1 really addresses all of those different things. So it addresses like energy slumps. So for example, in the afternoon, if you have an energy dip and then like you're just reaching for snacks, it helps you kind of like curb any cravings, curb sugar cravings. It helps with lowering cholesterol. It helps with blood glucose balance. So someone on our team is actually a type 1 diabetic. And when we were doing testing for our product, she was actually looking at the data on her glucose monitor. And she is the biggest fan of MB1 out of everyone on our team, because she sees the data like right in front of her. Because it's like when she takes it, her blood glucose levels are way more balanced. So it helps with all of that. And, you know, there's like, we have certain ingredients in there which are clinically trialed to show that over a 3-month period, if someone has weight to lose, then they will lose that weight as well. So I want to really, and we have done this in our education as well. This is not a magic pill that like, you know, you take it and tomorrow you've lost 10 pounds. Like this is not how it works, right? And it's like, if someone claims that that is the case, it's not healthy, I promise you. So this is something that you take every single day. In the first 2 weeks, you'll notice that like your cravings have kind of gone down or / gone away altogether. You'll notice that your satiety cues are way better. So for example, you'll know that like, okay, I'm full now. I don't need to eat anymore.
Okay, I need this.
Yeah. So
I want this for gluten because I feel like, you know, I think the monitoring my husband says of glucose levels, I think it's going to become a big thing, not you know, for everyone to have. And I think it's going to change the way we feel. I feel like we are looking for the cure, right? We're looking for the thing. We're looking for the this. We're looking for the that. When really, I feel as if our energy levels are like all of that comes down to this. So I feel like that's genius, and that's the one I need.
And the biggest block I think I have is overeating.
Yeah.
So that's something that it would help with.
yes, it really does help with that. Like when we like as a team we also have focus groups who took the product before we launched it, and that was like one of the first things you notice is that damn, I'm not reaching for snacks, I'm just like eating the right amount and like eating until I'm like comfortable. I don't feel the need to eat anymore. So
that's great.
like we're really, really proud of the product, and like it's been in the works for a year and a half. We've tested so many iterations. So, I mean, we're really excited about it, and early feedback has been absolutely phenomenal. Like people, our customers who tested the product were so excited for the launch, like so excited. Like, when are you launching? Like, when can I order more after like they were done their testing? So it's very exciting.
That's amazing. What Arrae product do people sleep on?
Sleep.
I take it. I've taken it. I take it a lot.
So why is it different than magnesium though?
So magnesium is just like magnesium.
Okay.
So magnesium helps with relaxation. It helps with muscle recovery. It helps with things like migraine, and like magnesium has like hundreds of different functions.
Okay.
Sleep, however, helps you sleep through the night. So it'll make sure that you don't wake up, that you're not restless, that you're just like able to like have good deep and REM sleep. So I personally take 3 magnesiums and 2 sleeps every single night, and I have taken sleep every single day since it launched in July 2022.
Wow.
Like I am obsessed with, and same with magnesium. I mean, we launched it a few months ago, and I have taken it every single day since we launched it. They're both phenomenal products, but I think sleep, people sleep on it, but it's actually the product that I probably use the most.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Quick question about bloat.
Yeah.
When is the best time to take it? Can you take it like as a digestive enzyme, or just like after a big meal, you kind of overindulged?
You can take it. So it is the most versatile product. Okay. So yes, you can take it as a digestive enzyme. We have people who take it every single day, and our clinicals have shown that not only is this something that you take in the moment and it helps you, but also it has accrued benefits. So if you take it every single day, you will notice that your overall severity of bloating goes down, as do your overall bloating symptoms, like over time as well.
Okay.
So it is something that you can absolutely take every day. Again, like as you said, it contains a digestive enzyme, which is really good for you to kind of digest food in general.
Right.
So, and in terms of like when to take it, honestly, that is totally up to you. So we say when someone is newly introduced to the product to take it after meals, because it allows you to understand how much of the product to take. Is it 2 capsules? Is it 3? Is it 4? That's very much up to you. After you're familiar with the product, we have people who take it at night before they're going to bed. We have people who take it first thing in the morning. We have people who carry it with them when they're traveling. It's so different. It's so versatile. And like, that was the thing, that we wanted something to fit into your lifestyle, you know, not be like, this is something that you have to take every single day no matter what to see the results. It's something that it will help you no matter what scenario you're in.
That's amazing.
I like taking it at night. I feel like it almost kind of just clears away the day. And I love waking up not feeling bloated. Like I just love waking up feeling super light.
I love
so
that.
I like taking it at night, and then I feel like it primes me in the morning. But then I'll also take it if I ate a big meal. I'm like, okay, now I need some extra support.
Yeah, we have a lot of people who are just like you, who like to take it like last thing before they go to bed, and then they just wake up. Like the terminology that I've heard on TikTok when it comes to our product is for your morning skinny.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Also, like, goddamn, fuck the morning skinny. It is so annoying. I look at, you look in the mirror in the morning, and you're like, hello. And then at night, you're like, different body.
Yeah.
You're like, 12 hours later, different body.
It's a completely different body.
I know. Okay, I have a question about how your personal brand fits into how you think about your personal brand when it comes to your Instagram and your podcast. How that relates to Arrae, or if you find them to be, of course they overlap, but if you find them to be two different lanes in your head, how do you view that balance?
So I think from a strategic standpoint, I think people like to buy from people. And I think as a founder, if you can build trust and like just like put yourself out there, I think it just grants you a little bit more credibility as a brand as well. Okay, so that's from like a strategic standpoint. However, for me personally, if I don't enjoy doing something, I'm never going to do it. Okay. And fact of the matter is, like, I think creating content is like a creative release for me. It just allows me to change courses and do something different, which I think is really beneficial. I started my podcast before Arrae because I'm genuinely a very curious person who likes to have conversations.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You started your podcast before Arrae?
2019. Yeah.
Wow.
There was no, like, again, it's funny because a lot of things that have happened throughout kind of my business and my life, it's not been because I'm some like master schemer. It's just
we started in 2018, and we thought when we started, we thought that the space was too saturated by 2018, which obviously did not prove to be the case. But I had no idea. I thought you started Arrae and then you started your podcast.
No, I started in 2019. I just really wanted to bring information to people, like good information to people directly from experts. And I wanted to just give people the information that I wish I had had when I was younger. So that was really the thought process behind the podcast, where like I wanted to kind of give people the resources to dream bigger and like actually achieve those dreams. And I just really love doing it, you know? And so it's nice that it bleeds into Arrae because it also gives me a platform to talk about business, and people are curious about how we run our business or like my personal wellness practices. And I get to talk about all of that on the podcast. So, I think like I really enjoy doing that. And if a founder is sitting here and they're like, I fucking hate social media, I would tell them, don't do it.
Don't do it.
You do not need to do it.
I feel like people need to hear that more because if you're always like, oh, I should just be on TikTok. I'm like, dude, it doesn't align with you. If you don't like naturally just gravitate to it, it's also not going to come across. The audience is going to be like, what the fuck is this?
I know. This is an ongoing theme on this podcast. We're like, this content creation, fucking here for it, do it all day long, love it. Other things, not so much. And I struggle with it because I see people on the internet that I admire, and I'm like, oh, because I did it for a while and then I stopped last year. I was like, this is not aligned. Like, I don't feel good. I'm comparing like the whole thing. But I still, even the other day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to post. I'm wearing some cute outfits these days all the time. That's what I like to do. I like to get dressed up. I should do a mirror video check on TikTok, and I'm going to post one every day for the next 30 days. I said that to myself again for the 35 millionth time. I got a motherfucking Octo, whatever fucking thing on my phone. I put it up. I tried to record 5 times. And do you know what? I said, fuck this. I hate everything about this. I don't like the way I look. I don't like that. I don't like this. I don't like this. And I was like, this is why I don't do this. But I just need a couple reminders sometimes.
Yeah, it's not for you. And like, that's completely okay. Like, I just want to reiterate for anyone who's listening that like, you do not need to do shit that doesn't make you feel good. Okay. Yeah. Like, you are doing enough. You're running a business. You're pouring your blood, sweat, and tears into this shit. Like, don't feel the need to take on things that don't feel natural or aligned for you. First, I think people will smell it.
Yeah.
Okay. They'll know that you're not liking yourself. You're like your own content. You're not wanting to be there. And then they're not going to want to watch it because it's like an energetic thing, okay? Like, that's the woo-woo bit.
Totally.
And number 2, like, no one has time for that.
Yeah.
No one has time to take on shit that they don't want to do. Like, if social media or like any one part of social media feels like a chore, don't do it. It's fine.
Exactly. I agree. Okay, so you're about to go on an Italian extravaganza.
Are you going to work?
What are you? No, well... No, I was gonna ask like, what are some of your personal wellness tips when traveling? Like, which Arrae products are you like are non-negotiables?
She has a whole suitcase that she brings.
I'm like, because we're going to Tulum, and I'm like, I mean, I'm gonna have like an apothecary.
Yeah, no, it's true.
You have to.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. In terms of what I'm taking with me, bloat, MB1 because I take MB1 every single morning. Bloat is necessary. I'm just eating
Totally.
like all day,
Totally.
every day. Sleep, magnesium. I would say like those are the 4 that I will be taking with me. Like they go everywhere with me. I cannot live without them. Okay. In terms of wellness tips, honestly, like I would say wherever I go, movement is a big part of any trip. So, and it doesn't have to be like a crazy workout. Like we're doing Rome, parts of Tuscany, and then Milan. I know in Rome, like we're there for 2 days. I'm just going to be walking a shit ton, you know? And then when we go to Tuscany, like we're doing a vineyard. So over there, I'll like get in a workout, or like Nish and I will play tennis. And then Florence, same thing, walk. So like I think just movement and finding movement that you love is really important for any trip for me, because it just allows me to stay in my routine. My body feels really good when I'm moving it. I don't like to sit still, so it's just not conducive to who I am. So I would say like those are like the main things. And then the last thing is honestly just fucking enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Like have a good
Present.
time. Like be present. Like, you know, don't be on your phone constantly. Like it's really nice for me to go away because we're in a different time zone and we don't always have to be on. So I'm looking forward to all of that.
Amazing.
Yeah, sounds incredible.
Yay.
Okay.
Should we ask our last question?
Yes. We ask every woman who comes on OK Sister podcast this. If you could brag about one thing and you weren't allowed to be humble, what would you brag about?
Oh my gosh. This is a very good question. I don't know. What do people say?
Oh, it
It
ranges.
ranges.
It ranges from material things to family to
What
business.
would you guys say?
Oh.
I would say right now I am really proud of the fact that I support my family through my business and have been able to spend copious amounts of quality time with my daughter every single week in the process.
That's incredible. What about you, Mady?
I would brag that my wedding is going to be fucking phenomenal. Oh like, truly.
I'm so scared. She keeps telling me it's going to be a rager. We're going to take shots. We're going to be up till 2 in the morning.
Sounds so fun.
I'm
I
just
love
like,
that.
I'm having
scared.
the time of my life planning this shit.
Oh,
and it's
I
just
love
like,
that.
I am so giddy and so excited about it that I'm just going to brag that it's like honestly going to be the best day of everyone that's going to be there's lives. So
I love that.
That's what
okay.
I'll say.
So my non-humble brag would be, I think we have the most functional workplace that anyone could ever imagine working in. And I'm also really, really proud of my working relationship with Nish. I think it's made us stronger as a couple, which is not something that people can often say. And I'm also really proud of like my relationship with my husband. Like I love him more and more every day. It's still spicy, it's still fun, and we operate a business together. So yeah, I would say like I'm very proud of that.
Props to that. You have to come back for round 2 when the relationship stuff, because I would love to dive into that.
Absolutely.
Okay, can we do a giveaway with some bloat?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Amazing. We'll get how many?
You tell me how
Okay,
many
let's do
do-
3 people.
Yes,
We'll
perfect.
send a bottle of bloat. Follow Arrae and Siff on Instagram and OK Sister Podcast, and comment on one of the reels of this episode, since there will be many, what your favorite part of the episode is.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Amazing.
And where can they find you?
Siffat Haider across all social media platforms, at Arrae.co across all social media platforms, or Arrae.com if you want to shop us. And then the Dream Bigger podcast is my podcast.
I love it. And you can follow us at OK Sister Pod on Instagram. Love you, sisters.
Thanks for having me, you guys. That was
That was awesome.
fun.